If you have been following us for some time, you are aware that we have been examining the DJI Pocket 4 camera from the outset. After all of our patience, the wait is starting to get fascinating. Similar to the previous announcement of the ordinary DJI Pocket 4, there has been a significant leak that basically ruins the surprise for the Pro version. We can plainly see a creator holding both a basic Pocket 4 and an upgraded DJI Pocket 4 Pro in one of the most recent leaked photos from Igor. It's a traditional move. The side-by-side photos show that the inner circle has already received early review units to create launch content. This indicates that the official announcement is almost here, if history is any teacher. At the latest, we're talking about late May or early June of 2026. Using information from FCC filings, prototype sightings, and some extremely trustworthy insider leaks, we have spent a great deal of time examining the fundamental characteristics of this forthcoming rig. DJI appears to be attempting to fit flagship-level cinematic features into a body that weighs less than 200 grams. However, after examining the data, we must wonder if DJI has truly addressed the Pocket 3's shortcomings, or if they are only adding complexity in order to maintain a professional name. Let's examine our current understanding of the timeline and the hardware. The most striking part of the leak is the dual lens system. For the first time, we're looking at a 3-axis gimbal that houses a dual CMOS primary sensor setup. The rumors point to a 50-megapixel main sensor paired with a secondary telephoto or ultra-wide lens. This allows for a 2x to 4x optical zoom, which has been the single biggest pain point for Osmo Pocket 3 users who are stuck with digital cropping. While this sounds great on paper, we have to consider the build materials and long-term durability. Adding a second lens and the mechanics for optical zooming into a tiny gimbal head adds a lot of weight and potential points of failure. The heat distribution will be a major hurdle for the DJI engineering team. Pushing 4K at 240 FPS or 6K at 60 FPS through dual sensors in such a slim profile is going to generate a massive amount of thermal energy. We've seen other Pocket cameras struggle with overheating in 10-bit D-Log mode, so we're curious to see if the Pro's slightly slimmer but more densely packed profile has the thermal headroom to actually sustain these high bitrate recording sessions without cutting out after 10 minutes. In terms of raw power, the specs are undeniably impressive. We're looking at 10-bit color profiles across the board and a massive jump in frame rates. The power consumption is definitely going to be higher than the standard model, but DJI is compensating for that with a 1545 mAh battery. That's roughly 20% larger than the Pocket 3. They've also integrated ActiveTrack 7.0 AI for multi-object locking, which is likely why they've moved to a larger rotating touchscreen and added a physical zoom dial. The noise level, or rather the electronic hum of the gimbal, will be something to watch. With heavier dual lenses, the motors have to work significantly harder to maintain that signature DJI stability. The cooking speed of the software, meaning how fast it can process these 4K 240 FPS files, will depend on a new image processor that we expect to see debuted in this unit. We also noticed early leaks hinting at enhanced modular integration, including remote grips and external lights. It's clear DJI wants this to be a filmmaker's B-roll beast, but at a sub 200-gram weight, the physics of keeping those motors cool and quiet are going to be a real test of their craftsmanship. One of the most concrete pieces of evidence we have is the FCC grant received on December 22, 2025. Usually, these filings have a 180-day confidentiality period, which officially ends on June 20, 2026. However, if you know how DJI operates, you know they almost never wait for that clock to run out. They usually launch the moment the units are in the warehouse and the marketing campaign is polished. The fact that review units are already being spotted in the wild alongside the standard Pocket 4 suggests that the Pro version is essentially sitting in a box somewhere waiting for the go signal. The long-term durability of the gimbal arm remains our biggest question mark, especially with the added weight of the dual lens module, but the 5-year outlook on DJI's Mototech has generally been solid. So, here is the situation we're in. If you are sitting there today on the launch day of the standard Pocket 4, wondering if you should pull the trigger, we tell you to pause. If you already own a Pocket 3 and you're looking for a reason to upgrade, the standard Pocket 4 might feel like an incremental step. The Pocket 4 Pro, however, is shaping up to be a total departure. The standard Pocket 4 is the now buy. It's compact, it's powerful, and it's available today. But the Pro is the one for the creators who need true optical zoom and that extra creative flexibility. The build materials and the dual CMOS setup mean it'll be a bit more costly, but it's a worthy investment if you find the current digital zoom unusable. Our critique of the Pro strategy is simple. DJI is making the gimbal head heavier and more complex. While the active stabilization is top tier, the more you add to that gimbal arm, the more careful you have to be with it. We hope the Pro model includes a more robust locking mechanism for travel to ensure it doesn't become a very expensive paperweight after one rough bag ride. That's what we've got for you today on the DJI Pocket 4 Pro leaks. It's shaping up to be one of the most exciting pocket-sized cameras we've seen in years, but it's also a risky move for DJI to go this complex. We'll continue to track every new leak, FCC update, and official word as we approach that June launch window. We're curious to hear from the community on this one. Are you a buy-it-now person who's going for the standard Pocket 4 today, or are you going to hold out for that dual-lens Pro model in June? Does 4K 240 FPS actually matter to your workflow, or is it just another spec sheet vanity metric? Let us know in the comments below.
Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it helped you make sense of the leaks. Subscribe to the channel for the full review once we get our hands on the Pro, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.